everyone, I'm Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I'm really looking forward to it. It is a much requested practice, a yin style practice, really sending lots of much needed love to the hip flexors and especially the psoas. The psoas muscle or muscles, because there are two of them, one on each side of the body. They need a lot of love, and we're going to be sending lots of good vibes and relaxation their way. So I found that the psoas and the hip flexors are very popular, trendy, you could say, muscle groups to look at, but there's still a fair amount of people who don't really know what they are, what they're doing, why they're trying to release their psoas. So I want to talk about that for just a second. The deepest muscles in your body. They are the only muscle that directly connects the lower body and the upper body. So you have one on each side. They connect at the top of your thigh bone here, your femur, and they run across your pelvis, around, and then they actually attach at vertebra T12. They attach to the lower rib cage, so all the way like this. Now, the psoas is very important. We use it so much that we basically don't even realize it. That's how instinctive it is for us to use the psoas. It is one of the first muscles that develops in utero. It develops alongside the reptilian brain, the very basic brain, and it is hardwired into the sympathetic nervous system. So it is triggered in the fight or flight response. When you hear bad news or something scary and you get this dropping feeling in your stomach, that is your fight or flight reflex kicking in, pumping hormones into your body and getting your psoas ready for action. So it fires it up, gets it all tensed up and ready to do something. Well, the problem is, in modern life, a lot of us are stressed out a lot of the time. And your brain, it really can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined threat. So every time you get worked up and stressed out, your body is flooding with these stress hormones and it is tensing up your psoas. And it becomes this feedback loop because whenever your psoas activates and tenses, it triggers your nervous system to produce adrenaline, so you're ready to deal with the threat, and it just keeps snowballing. Also, when you sit all day, it shortens and tightens your psoas, which then triggers your nervous system to produce these stress responses. And it goes on and on and on. That's why it's so incredibly important to take a few minutes to relax and slow down and just relieve stress and tension in the psoas. And then once it's nice and relaxed, you can begin to stretch it a bit too. If you jump right into vigorous stretching, if you sit all the time, you could end up damaging your psoas. So we're going to start nice and easy, nice and gentle, and take a few minutes to just relax. So in order to do this and relieve stress in the psoas, I want you to come on down to your back. And we're going to take a constructive rest position. So come onto your back. Bring your feet hip width apart, and then you can allow your knees to come in. You can rest your hands on your stomach or on your hip points. And I want you to close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe deeply and diaphragmatically, so you should feel your stomach rise and fall. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a few more deep breaths on your own pace. I want you to imagine a warm light. It can be whatever color speaks to you today. Maybe your light is white. Maybe your light is orange. Maybe it's some other color. Imagine this warm light coming down onto your scalp. It's spreading, moving, and bringing relaxation. Relax your forehead. Relax your cheeks. Relax your mouth. Relax your chin. Feel the warm light coming down your neck, spreading across your shoulders. As you relax any tension or stress in your shoulders, relax your arms. Feel your chest melting into the ground as you relax. Relax your stomach and your hands. And then feel a concentrated, warm wave of relaxation in your hips and your pelvis. Send your breath into your pelvic bowl. Feel it joining forces with the light to relax. If you find your thoughts wandering, just return to your breath and focus on the word relax. Check in again with your body and make sure that everything is fully relaxed. So heavy, so relaxed. Imagine now that your warm, healing, relaxing light has enveloped your entire body. Now you are in a bubble of light. This bubble of light protects you from stress, from negativity. It protects you from tension. Find any more tension in your body, you can give it to the light. You can say, I lovingly declare that all tension is released from my body. I lovingly declare that all tension is released from my hips. I give this tension and stress to the healing bubble of light, and it is removed from my body. The healing bubble of light has received your stress and tension, and it dissipates now, back into the world, back into the universe, but ready for you to call on it at any time that you may need. Slowly, gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe sway your knees from side to side a little bit, gently rocking, returning movement to the body. When you're And now we can begin to release the psoas even more. So, you may want to simply extend your legs. If you do this and you notice that your rib cage is flaring up significantly, this may be where you want to start. If you have a tight psoas, it can restrict your rib cage, can restrict your breathing, cause tightness, and that can cause the arching here. It can also cause tightness in the shoulders. So if you find that you are unable to bring your arms down without causing arching, that's another sign of a tight psoas, and you'll want to make sure to keep your arms somewhere that it doesn't cause that arching. If this feels okay to you, I highly encourage you to grab a block. So, you're going to grab your block, and we're going to place it beneath the sacrum. So, not up on the spine where it's going to restrict our movement, but down on the sacrum. And you want to place it on the lowest setting. And then simply extend your legs and allow your body to relax. Really let the psoas stretch and lengthen. You may keep your hands here, or you may bring them overhead if you would like, and we're just going to hang out here for a couple of minutes. Now for the next pose, you can either have a block under your sacrum or be on the ground. We're going to go into wind relieving pose. So I'm going to demonstrate first without the block. So if you're here, simply draw your right leg in, and you can bring your hands behind your thigh or onto the knee, whatever is comfortable for you. Normally you would keep your feet fairly active. I know in a yin practice you can get a little more relaxed. The main goal here is not to stress and strain. Don't push and pull. Simply let the weight of your arms and the weight of gravity do the work for you. So like I said, you can stay here if you would like. That is absolutely fine. Or if you're feeling like you need a bit more release and you feel this better, you can always do it here. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and stay on the ground for this one. Make sure that you keep your neck and your shoulders relaxed. Just let gravity do all the work. Exhale, send that right leg long again. And then inhale the left leg in towards the chest, hooking hands behind the thigh or over the shin, whichever is better for you. Once again, remember, no pulling or straining. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, let gravity do its work. exhale that leg back down. Give yourself a moment. Slowly roll over onto your side. Take it easy. When you're ready, press yourself up to sitting. We've been down for a long time, so take it slow. So we've been gradually building intensity. Now we're going to go into a low lunge. So you may want to go ahead and fold your mat over. I also use some pads sometimes, that helps. So let's go ahead, since I'm on this side here, right knee down, send the left leg forward. Make sure that your knee is stacked over the ankle, not coming forward of the ankle, shin nice and vertical. You can have your foot down or your toes tucked like that if you would like. It's up to you. You may place your hands on your hips, on your waist. I think hips is a little bit easier, or even down, and just allow your hips to relax down. As your hips become more open, you can try to sink further towards the floor. Be mindful of that knee though. Don't be afraid to shift the foot forward a little bit in order to keep that shin nice and vertical, knee over the ankle. Now you can stay here if you would like, or you might want to grab on to your foot and gradually draw it in. You can use one hand or both. Don't crank and pull and cause any pain, just so that you can feel it and relax into the stretch. You don't have to take this variation if you're just not feeling it today. You can stay just in the low lunge if you'd like. Release that back foot if you had it up. I'm going to unfold this edge of the mat. Fold over the opposite edge, planting the left knee down, sending the right foot forward, coming into the low lunge. Again, check to make sure your knee and ankle are nice and stacked. Foot can be down or up, whatever works better for balance for you. stay here, or you can reach back and grab hold of that back foot. Again, no pulling, no tension, no strain. Just getting a little bit more of a stretch and letting gravity do its work. Release that back foot if you had it up. Allow the mat to unfold. And we have several variations for the next pose here, our final sort of most stretching pose, if you will. You are absolutely welcome to come to a child's pose. You can bring your hands out or your hands back. However, if you can, I do encourage you to take the wide-legged child's pose. If child's pose feels good to you, wide-legged child's pose gets even more into the hip flexors. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. You can absolutely stay in a wide-legged child's pose. Or if you would like, you can come into a frog pose with me. And there are several variations that you can do. That's why I have a pillow right here. So in frog pose, it's very similar to the wide-legged child's pose, except you send, here's your wide-legged child's pose, you send the feet out so that you're trying to get the knees and ankles in alignment, shin vertical, if you will, perpendicular to the long edges of your mat. Here in this case, feet are out like this. Now what you can do is put a pillow or a bolster underneath yourself, because this can have a lot of tension. If you do this, find the right amount of support so that you can feel it, but there's no pain, there's no stress. It's a very good level of feeling. So you can stay here, and something else you can do to modify this pose if that's a little too much support for you today is you can also grab your blocks. Same thing, knees, ankles, feet out, but you can support your arms on the blocks to bring the floor a little bit closer to your chest. And of course, you're also welcome to bring your arms down to the floor. Wherever you are, relax into the pose, let gravity do its work. slowly, gently press yourself up. Draw the legs in. Return to your favorite seated position. I love Thunderbolt. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a second to check in with your body. Notice if it feels any different now than it did before practice. Notice your calm, equanimous mind, the feeling of relaxation that you've cultivated in your hips. Hands together at heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really hope you enjoyed all the love that you sent to your hip flexors and your psoas. Your body, your mind, your health will thank you so much for taking this time to release that stress and tension in the psoas muscle. So thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my accessible yoga practices. And also, please, I want to know what you want to see. So leave a comment and let me know what types of practices you would like to see, what areas of the body you need to relieve stress and tension in. So I hope to see you again soon. Bye.